everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Dani Cesar, and Happy New Year, Happy 2019. I hope everybody had a great holiday season. I'm so excited to kick off this year with a simple get ready with me and some first impressions. Just to give you a little sneak peek, we got the Dose of Colors Desi x Katy Friendcation palette. I'm super excited for this one. I also have a new foundation, some liquid highlight, and we're just gonna go through the steps together. So before we get started, please do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, as well as the notification bell. Without further ado, let's go ahead and put some makeup on. Alright, so as you can see, I already went ahead and primed my eyelids. I just used some concealer and powder that I'm going to be using on the rest of my face later on. So let's go ahead and jump into this gorgeous palette. This is the Dose of Colors Desi x Katy Friendcation palette. As you can see, the packaging alone is absolutely stunning. I love the mirror it comes in. And then let's talk about the shades. So to start off, this has 5 mattes and 5 shimmers. The mattes are gorgeous. They're super, super buttery. Here are some swatches. Starting from the lightest color in the shade Basic. Then you have Chains. Then you have Necessary. You have Dirty Money, which is a gorgeous greenish gold color. And then you have A Moment, which looks blue, but then when you turn it, it has a gorgeous purple shift. It's incredible. Honestly, like in one light, it looks perfectly blue, and then the next light, it looks just purple. Then we have the shade Try Me, which is a gorgeous cranberry shade. Then we have Just a Kiss. Then we have Girl Bye. Then we have Churro, and lastly we have Game Over, which is a black sparkly shade with some like silver glitters in there. It's beautiful as well. So yeah, this is the palette, and let's go ahead and put it on our eyes. I'm just going to start off slow, and I'm going to take the shade Basic with a fluffy brush and just put that on the crease. This is a Morphe M513, just picking up a little bit of that color and popping it in the crease. So then I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the shade Necessary, which is more of a mid-tone brown, and I'm gonna pretty much just do the same thing, just deepen up that crease. So I think I'm gonna go into that warmer chocolatey lighter brown, which is Churro, I believe. And I'm going to take that on a slightly more tapered brush. My Morphe M330. And I'm going to put this on the outer corner and then slowly drag it into my crease. I'm going to go back into my original blending brush and the shade Basic. And I'm just going to bring that back into the upper crease, as well as a little bit of Necessary. See, for an everyday look, you could just keep it at this, pop the same shades on your lower lash line, and you're good to go with some mascara. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to take the shade Chains, which is that dark chocolatey brown shade, because I recently did a cranberry shade, so I'm just going to hold that for another tutorial down the line, because you best believe I'm going to be using this baby again. So I'm just going to take that shade on a tiny blending brush. This is the Morphe M506, one of my absolute favorites for blending out darker shades if I don't want them to go like all over the place. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop this really tightly into my outer corner. Oh my god, this shade would be so nice for like an all brown smoky eye, like all over the lid, and then just blend it up into the crease. Add a little bit of like Basic and Necessary in the crease to blend that out. Boom. Oh my gosh. I look at this palette and I get so inspired to do so many looks that's the problem I'm having with it, that I'm not sure what look I want to create with it, because the options just seem endless. And a video I highly recommend you watching, or just a YouTuber in general, is Samantha Ravandal. She's absolutely beautiful, hilarious, so down to earth, and so well spoken. But the point is, she came out with a video on this palette back when the palette first launched. I'll insert the link down in the description box just for reference. But in her video, which is what really sold me on the palette, by the way, In her video, she demonstrated how the glitters blend into each other to create a whole new color, which is something, well, maybe not unheard of, but it's very hard to come across. Anyway, back to this. Even this darker shade, which honestly I have some trouble blending out in other palettes. Or not trouble, but it just takes a little bit longer. I feel like I blended this out for maybe 15 seconds and I'm done. I think it's out of habit that I just keep going back and forth, blending and blending and blending, but I really don't need to, which I really appreciate, especially when you're trying to save some time and not, you know, spend forever doing your makeup. I'm gonna take the shade A Moment, which is that blue purple shift shade, and I'm going to take it on a dry flat brush. In case you're curious, this one is the Morphe M421. So you can see I just packed it on there. It's dry. Let's see how this goes on. Are you kidding? Okay, this is absolutely stunning. It looks just like it does on the pan on my eyelids. This is... Here, let me try my finger. Oh yeah, that's beautiful too. But at least it's nice to know that I can still pick it up with a brush and it will give me just the same intensity. I'm gonna take my finger again and I'm gonna dip it into the shade Game Over. What the hell? Okay. And I'm gonna stamp this on top of the blue on the outer portion. So I'm just deepening that blue shade here and adding some of that silvery sparkles. Oh my god, that looks so pretty. Okay, so let's make this not a hot mess and blend out the edges. So I'm gonna go back in with my little tiny blending brush and I'm gonna take the shade Churro. So I'm just gonna go really lightly over the edges of this. I love how easily this blends. Like, I mean, you see this for yourself. It's just, this is absolutely worth the hype. So now I'm just going back in with one of my blending brushes and I tapped into the shades Necessary and Basic. And I'm just sweeping this back onto my crease. I think I'm actually gonna take Just a Kiss on my finger, just a little bit, right there. And I'm gonna pop it on the center. Maybe I'm just gonna do it everywhere a little bit. And so I have them on different fingers, so I'm just kind of going back and forth, blending with both colors. Alrighty, so I matched up the eyes as best as I could, so now I'm just gonna take a wipe and just wipe off all that fallout. So now for primer, let's start on the base. So I'm going to be using my Milk Makeup Blur Stick. I just got a full size finally because I've been working with a tiny little mini size and I just loved it so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of draw it on. I love it. It is mattifying and I have more of a drier skin tone or skin type. So that's usually not ideal, but for the T-zone, I do love it because it really helps minimize the look of my pores. It basically just fills them in and it creates such a soft kind of velvety base for my foundation to then go on. And I do actually find that it makes my makeup last a little bit longer. So now for foundation, I will be using the Milk Makeup Blur Liquid and I am in the shade, or I think I'm in the shade Creme, so we shall see if this is a good foundation match or not. Their website is pretty descriptive on, or at least somewhat descriptive on the shades. Like it'll tell you fair skin tone with neutral undertones or fair skin tone with more warm undertones and things like that. So that was kind of helpful. I'm still not an expert at shade matching or anything like that, but I try. So yeah, let's go ahead and see how this works. So it comes in a little squeezy tube, as you can see. So I'm just gonna apply or dispense some on the back of my hand like that. I'm just going to grab it on my finger and dot it. I'm just going to kind of warm it up with my finger first. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my sponge. This is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. And I'm just gonna pounce this away and see what happens. Oh, so it's actually not a bad shade match. I feel like it does match my neck pretty well, which is nice. I do notice that this is drying quite quickly, so I feel like I maybe shouldn't have spread it around my entire face like I did. It just looks, it looks like skin. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it doesn't, up close, it doesn't look like I'm wearing foundation really. It didn't cover up my zits that I have here peeking through, which I really don't mind. I'm not a full coverage type of person anyway. I think in the future what I would like to do is use more of a glowy base in addition to the blur stick, just because, like I said, I do have a drier skin type, so I like more of that luminous dewy look, which this doesn't claim to be. I like it. I like it. What do you guys think? This is one of my absolute favorite drugstore concealers. This is the Maybelline Master Conceal Camouflage Concealer in the shade 20 Light. I love this guy. It's actually pretty full coverage and you really don't need a lot for your entire face. So I literally just squeeze a little bit onto my finger, that much. Literally, I don't know if you can even see it. The tiniest dot on your finger will work for everything you need, really. So I like to just dot it on the inner corners or just under my eyes. And then around my nose. I'm gonna kind of start to spread that out. And then I'm just gonna spot conceal any blemishes I have. I find that with a little bit and just your fingers to warm it up is the best way to apply it. And now to set, I'm gonna use a little bit of translucent powder. One of my absolute favorites, or actually probably my all-time favorite at this point, is the RCMA No Color Powder. This guy is maybe like $12 and it comes with 3 ounces of product. I've actually had this exact bottle for 2 years, almost 2 years now. It's crazy, and look how much I have left. I mean, I don't use this every single day, but I use this quite a bit, and I just have so much of it, so it's great. This is not something you can find at like CVS or anything like that, unfortunately, and the packaging is just so sad. I mean, does this not give you oregano container vibes or something? I don't know what they were thinking with this packaging, but the product itself is fantastic. Just to make sure that it doesn't crease, I'm gonna pick up the creases first, and then I just dip some of that powder into the cap, and I guess the rest of my table and everything. And I picked it up on my sponge, and I'm just gonna powder directly under my eyes. I'm not gonna bake or anything, I'm just trying to set everything in place. And it's just so smoothing and brightening and beautiful. It doesn't emphasize my dryness, thank the Lord. Before I move on to any further powder products, I'm gonna do some cream contouring and cream highlighting. So I know that you see this coming, but I'm gonna go in with my Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer right here. Nothing new here. You've seen me using this since my very first video on my channel. I'm just gonna pick up my usual e.l.f. 103 brush and just pick up the product directly from the stick and apply it to my face. So now for a little bit more definition, I'm gonna pick up my Morphe, I think it's the E3. I don't know, I'll put it on the screen somewhere. Alright, so now for another first impressions, I'm gonna jump into some cream highlight. So this is the Cover FX Glitter Drops. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little shake. This is a very different cream highlight or liquid highlight that I would normally use. Got this in a BoxyCharm, I think a month or 2 ago. I wanna say it was November of last year, 2018. And it comes in a little dropper like so. So I'm just gonna pick some up in the dropper and apply some to the back of my hand. Okay. It's quite liquidy. This is probably more than I need, but just for demonstration purposes. Oh wow, okay. That is so blinding. That's beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead, I already have some on my finger of course, and I'm just gonna dab it on the high points, and I'm gonna blend it out with another finger. Oh, let me apply some more here. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out a little bit more with my sponge. I'm just gonna go in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and since I already have a cream bronzer on, I'm just gonna take it with my Sonia Kashuk stippling brush and set that cream bronzer in place. So now that my base is all complete, I am loving how all these products are looking together. I feel like everything blended so nicely. So now let's go ahead and finish up the eyes. So for the lower lash line, I'm gonna take a tiny brush. This is the Luxie 131 mini angled brush. I've been raving about this set forever now. You guys really need to check it out. I will be sure to link this set and everything else that I'm using, from the tools to all the products and everything, down below in the description box. And that's always linked, so make sure you're always checking in the description box below. So now I'm just going in with the shades Necessary and Basic, and I'm just gonna drag that all the way from outer to inner corner. And then actually with a smaller brush, this is from that same set, it's the Luxie 141 mini round brush. I'm gonna pick up some, what is it, churro? Yes, I'm gonna pick up churro. I'm gonna take a tiny little flat brush. This is the Morphe M508. It's just tiny, very densely packed bristles. And I'm gonna take a little bit of Game Over on the dry brush, and I'm gonna press it onto my outer corner of the lower lash line and connect it to the top. So I'm actually really glad I chose to go with the darkest shades in the palette for my first impressions, because I was, you know, colors like these can be pretty intimidating, especially for somebody who doesn't normally play with makeup as much as maybe somebody like I do or any other makeup obsessed person would. But I just feel like it's really nice to show how easy creating a look like this can be, and how easy they are to blend, and that you won't look like a clown wearing colors like these, you know what I mean? There's a beautiful way to do these, and this palette just makes it so easy. I feel like it's very beginner friendly. If you want to go into deep dark shades like this sparkly black shade, Game Over, I feel like it'd be super easy to do a smoky eye, like an all black smoky eye, and throw a little bit of the brown colors in the crease to blend that out, and you're set. I'm obsessed with it. I really wish you could pick up in the camera all the tiny glitters that it has, because I put that Just a Kiss shade just really lightly tapped over the blue. It created all these tiny different colored micro glitters that just make it look really special in person. It's really hard to describe it, and then Game Over on the outer corner there just amped it up and gave it that extra smokiness that I really wanted for this look, and I think it came out really nice. I'm gonna go in with Just a Kiss with a little pencil brush. This is my Morphe M578. And I'm just gonna pop that in my inner corner, and of course it's beautiful. I mean, look at that. I'm gonna take my ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in the shade DTLA. It's just a deep navy, it looks black, but it's navy, I promise, eyeliner, and I'm just gonna take that on the outer corner. I'm also gonna tightline with this. So now I'm gonna take another ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in the shade, what is this, Get Paid? Yes. It's just a beautiful, like, metallic rosy shade. I don't know how to explain it. It's gorgeous. It's like a rosy, bronzy shade, I guess. I don't know. So now I'm going to pop on some mascara, and I'm all out of my favorite Lash Sensational, so I'm going to use another milk product. I'm sorry guys, it's been a lot of milk, I know, but it's just, the products are so good and I've been really getting into them lately. So first I'm going to go in with the Milk Kush Mascara, and I'm going to solely use this on my upper lashes because one day I put this on my bottom lashes and I swear by the time I got home from work, I had black smudges all over my under eyes, which has never happened before, but it doesn't happen if I just apply it to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this to the top, and then after I'm going to go in with a coat of my L'Oreal Lash Paradise for some added volume. Alright guys, so I'm back with my brows on and some mascara. If you want to learn how to do my brows, I'll leave a little card up here. I forget what corner it is, but I'll leave a little card up with a link to my brow tutorial as well as in the description box below. So moving on to lips. To line my lips, I'm going to use my my Nude Sticks Intense Matte Lip and Cheek Pencil in Purity, and I'm going to top that off with the most gorgeous liquid lipstick ever. It's the Fenty Beauty Unbutton shade. I find that the formula of this is so long wearing, and when it does fade, like it just fades a little bit on the inside of your lips, but very naturally, or well, you know, naturally for a lipstick, so that it doesn't look like a defined line there. It's just kind of, it just fades really, really pretty. Now going in with my Fenty, and the packaging is just, it's so pretty. Also, I will say the applicator, it's the strangest little thing. I don't know if you can tell, but it's the strangest little thing that it just fits so nicely and on your lips, and it just deposits just enough product. It's beautiful. This formula is a little bit more of the liquidy kind, so I don't want to say it's moisturizing, but it's not drying, you know, so it's really, really nice, and it lasts all day long. And with one swipe, I filled up my entire lips. I love it so much. Alright, so now the final step in any makeup look is to set it with a setting spray. One of my favorites, as you can see, I'm almost out of it. It is the Pixi Makeup Fixing Mist. I love this thing. It's super refreshing, moisturizing, and I really feel like it sets my makeup in place and helps it last longer, like whenever I don't even use a primer. And this is the final look. Alright you guys, so let's wrap this up with my final thoughts. Starting off with the foundation, I really like this on first impression. When I was first applying it, I was a little bit nervous because it felt a little bit thick and like too drying maybe. But the more I blended it out and the longer I've been wearing it just throughout doing my makeup, I really like the finish. It really just looks like skin. My skin looks just kind of perfected, honestly, and between this and the blur stick, like together, great combo. I really dig this highlight too. Like, I never thought I would like a glittery highlight. I like shiny highlights, glossy highlights. I really enjoy this. I will definitely be using this again, and I'm gonna try it out on the eyes as well. I feel like that'd be a really subtle hint of glitter. The Desi and Katy Friendcation palette, I'm just mad at myself for not buying this sooner. This is one of the most beautiful and well-rounded palettes of all time. It's just so gorgeous, versatile. I loved the formula. I'm sure that they will wear it just fine because I've worn Dose of Color shades before and they last all day long, no problem. The packaging, so luxurious and pretty, and the mirror in it is also very helpful. This is going to be a lovely, amazing, great, fantastic, all the good adjectives travel palette. I cannot wait to go on a next trip, and I will be sure to pack this with me. And so now I'm just going to show you how you can mix some of the shades, and then we're going to wrap up this video. Okay, so here are just 3 combinations that you can use with a moment, Try Me, and Just a Kiss. This is what the shades look by themselves, and here they are mixed. So this is a moment, the blue shade, with Try Me, which is the cranberry shade, right on top, and I just kind of mix them together. And then here is, oh sorry, I almost forgot. This is also Dirty Money. So this is Dirty Money and Try Me mixed together. It creates kind of a beautiful coppery look. And as you can see, Try Me and A Moment, which is the blue and the cranberry, created this beautiful purple look. And then right below, right here, I have A Moment, the blue shade, and Just a Kiss patted on top of it, and I just mixed it together. It created a beautiful color. I don't even know what to call that. But it's just so pretty. So you can see I mixed 4 different shades all together, and you know, differently of course, and you can create so many more looks out of this palette. So that just goes to show how truly versatile this palette is, and I'm obsessed with it. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. I had such a good time trying out all these new products, especially the eyeshadow palette. Obviously I'm obsessed with it, and with good reason. So if you like this video, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already, so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video and you won't miss out on any new content. I have so many ideas for 2019, and I just can't wait to see what the year brings. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Mwah.